Hello everyone, this is the Final Bosman and it's the week before E3. Let's do some do's and don'ts. Two surprises. A couple of weeks ago on the show, I did an episode about the value of a good reveal. And something happened last week that to me really solidified the significance of what a reveal means to a video game. And that was when Ubisoft announced that Watch Dogs had the biggest 24 hours of video game sales of any video game in its entire Ubisoft history. Best 24 hours ever for a Ubisoft game. That's pretty impressive. Will that game have the most sales long-term of any Ubisoft game? I honestly think it probably won't. Right? What is probably a Just Dance game. But it did have the best day one sales. And to me, that number exists not because of reviews, certainly not reviews, because the reviews didn't come out until that day, not because of word of mouth, but strictly because of hype and pre-order bonuses, but mostly hype. And most of that hype, I think, is owed to E3. It makes E3 important, because at E3 they can show this trailer that surprises us, and we can say, whoa, did you see that? And I think Watch Dogs really launched because of whoa, did you see that? At 2 years ago. And clearly, if you look at what Watch Dogs just did, it made a lot of money off of the element of surprise. And you can too. Don't demo your games with live dialogue. So last year, at the Sony PlayStation press conference, there was a big demo of Destiny. And what they did during Destiny is had the people on stage speak throughout it as if they were playing a real game with their buddies. So this makes it like us. This is like, oh, I would play it like this. I would offer my friends loot. And at first I thought, oh, cool. They're like showing what it's like if like we were playing. Then it just got, you know what, it got normal. It felt like a normal game on stage. And eventually after that, it just got kind of annoying. You didn't want to hear these people playing this game anymore and listen to them.
Check this out. I knew you'd be jealous of a sniper rifle.
Oh, I do like the long rifle. What's its name?
Shut up and get behind me.
So what you do to your game there is you make it less exciting by putting your own dumb, live, artificial language over it. Basically, you ruin your game's tone. You think about like Killer Instinct at last year's Microsoft press conference, and the way that the game's producer was like speaking over it, saying highly inappropriate things, and then it's just like, oh, well, now I'm gonna upload that video, and then, hey, you know what a shark is? Let's make the girl win. Wouldn't that be funny if suddenly the girl wins? That whole thing that just like the rehearsed storylines of these live demos, oh my gosh, like was so dumb. Like don't rehearse a little dialogue over your game. Be proud of your game. Let your game speak for itself. Don't talk over it. You're ruining it. You're changing the tone of your game. A really good example of this is what Call of Duty has done historically. That is, person walks out, I'm not gonna introduce this, I'm just gonna start playing. Okay, you know how good this looks, you know what's happening, you can see what's new, you can see what's good or bad, and thank you. That's, what, why didn't you do that, everyone? Just play the game. No dialogue. I'm having a blast. Buddy, throw me your gun. Thanks, pal. Uh-oh, here comes something we should have not expected. Do smile. This is kind of to bounce off of that last point. Yes, your games are great. They should be taken seriously. The E3 is a high-stakes event. However, if you are a presenter, have fun, smile. Show us your teeth. Make the event fun, because it's still, honestly, it's an event about video games. A really good example, I guess Aisha Tyler hosting Ubisoft. She has fun, and that makes the event fun to watch. Matt and Trey of South Park, when they show up at a press conference, yes, thank you. You made this fun to watch, and you're having a good time. Jack Tretton last year was straight up laughing when he was announcing the PlayStation 4 DRM plan. Have fun, do it. You think of like, if I can think of like the worst example of this, it's not at E3, it's still that thing, it still bugged me so much from the PlayStation announcement where Nate Fox was setting up infamous Second Son and just delivering the most dramatic monologue.
How much control would any of us have over our own lives? And which of us would have the courage to fight to get our freedoms back.
It was so serious, and the game didn't turn out to be that serious. The game was fun. Nate Fox, why weren't you having fun, man? I've seen him in interviews since then, and he seems like just like a super nice, down-to-earth person. I can't understand where that monologue came from. Don't do things like that. However, also, don't have too much fun. There was that time, the Dance Central demo, where the guy came out and was just like, "Hi, I'm a video game designer, but I bet you didn't know that I could look cool dancing." And then he did it. He demoed dancing, and he looked like this. Just like really leaning into it and like doing an air guitar. Like, can you imagine that terror in a real life dance situation? So frustrating to watch because, you know, we're here for E3, we're excited about video games, and this guy is just putting on a little dance recital for us. So you know what the difference is actually, is I think that guy was trying to be cool. Don't try to be cool, just be yourself. Do smile, don't try to be cool. You know, just like show some self-awareness, man. You're not a good dancer still. That game's not making you look cool. Maybe I'm just jealous. Am I jealous? Is it like, do I wish I was that good of a dancer? I'm jealous of that guy. Don't you dare act like exclusive DLC is something we want. So this is something that's tricky because exclusive DLC works. We buy into it. I know it's our fault. We're giving you bad encouragement because we always go after it. Here's the thing though, we don't get excited about exclusive DLC. It's nothing we cheer for. So when you're into a press conference saying, and all DLC for Call of Duty will be exclusive to Xbox platforms for the first month, what are you giving us? What are you actually giving us? You're depriving other people of things. That's nothing we should cheer for. Even when you say,
I'm happy to announce that PlayStation owners will receive an additional hour of exclusive gameplay and a special outfit for Aiden Pierce.
no, what do you want us to cheer about that for? Tell us why we should be excited about that exclusive content. But I get it. I get that it works. I get that you're never gonna stop doing exclusive content. Here's my wish. Here's what would honestly just make me happy, is if instead of saving it for the last thing you say about a game, like this is the stinger, here's what's really gonna get, just put it in the middle of a sentence. Battlefield Hardline will be out this fall. It will have exclusive DLC for this particular platform, and we hope you enjoy it. And you get a grappling hook in this game. You get a grappling hook in this game. Thank you. Do embrace the fact that this is entertainment. Last month, when Nintendo announced its digital event, the headlines afterward were predominantly, Nintendo is not doing a press conference again. You're doomed. However, I think they're being smart. You know, despite my wishes that they do a press conference and there'd be thousands cheering for the new Zelda trailer, I think they're making the right business call here. And I think that their Smash Bros. Tournament might be one of the biggest things to come out of E3. When I talk about cheers per minute, that tournament's gonna get more cheers per minute than Sony or Microsoft could ever hope for. It's gonna get a lot of cheers. I think that's a big thing, and I think that speaks to how E3 more and more is becoming about human beings more than just media. You know, it started off, of course, as this sort of press event where mainstream media could come and learn about the new video games of the next year so they could write their headlines on Tuesday and maybe a big article on Friday. However, those of us not in the mainstream media sort of started being endlessly entertained by what happens at E3, and it's evolved and it's changed. And we've come to this point where last week, Sony announced that it will air its press conference in movie theaters. 40 to 50, they said, across the US and Canada. Movie theaters, a press conference. That is crazy. You know why that's crazy? Because one generation ago, their press conference was a PowerPoint presentation. And now it's in movie theaters. It's not even a press conference anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's not a media briefing. It's a every single person in the world briefing. And that's what's so good about them. Embrace that fact. You can do this. You can spend money on this. You can care about this. You can do $1 million on an ad campaign, and we're gonna forget about it in a few months. But these press conferences, we remember, they stick with us. Any dumb thing you say, that if you say Ridge Racer, that sticks to us. That sticks to us for like the rest of our lives when we forget those dumb commercials. So yeah, make it an event. Care about it, spend money on it, think about it. Think about how important everything is, and put on a show. And finally, don't tease things that will never come to fruition. So I wanna pick on something in particular. In 2011, Konami had a pre-E3 digital press conference. This is, of course, after its 2010 live press conference that was just abysmal in humorous ways. Konami, embarrassed, said, "We will never do that again," and so they had a digital press conference. The thing is, that I feel like they felt like they needed a surprise at the end, so they had this pretty long teaser in which a little loading bar appeared, and then it burned, and then this fire came out, and that fire turned into a sea, the Contra Sea, and then the words, "They're coming." I guess if you're in Europe, it's called Probotector, so maybe they sent you a flaming pea. I don't really know. But to me, that said, wow, Konami's making a new Contra game. Imagine if they go all out. Turns out, next year, nope, they didn't come. They're not, we don't know what happened to them. We didn't promise you anything. We just teased. You weren't promised a thing. Don't do that. Don't tease things that will never come out. I understand game development, lots of things happen, lots of things fall out, and lots of things don't work out right. Don't tease those things that might not work out right. There's a prevailing rumor that Nintendo's press conference from 2012, the one where they debuted the Wii U and ended with fireworks from Nintendo Land, the rumor is that that was a last-minute call, that Nintendo didn't plan on ending with fireworks from Nintendo Land, but pretty late into the week, into the schedule, a big reveal dropped out because it wasn't ready to be seen. If that is the case, if that is true, if this was truly a last-minute call, I think they made the right decision. They could have done that. They could have dimmed the lights, and Reggie could have said, and now, one more thing. Because the lights are black. Suddenly you hear a phone ring. Beep, 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 beep. It's Fox McCloud. He picks up his cell phone, and he says, "Yup, I'll do it." He gets in the R-Wing, blasts off. You see a shot of him head on, and then a Metroid appears behind his head. Cut to black. They're coming. Could have been that. We could have gone nuts. We would have yelped. We would have burped. We would have just exploded into excitement. We would have tweeted. We would have pre-ordered. But then it would have never come out. It would have been now, and we wouldn't have seen it. So it would have been cheap. Thank you for not doing that, if that's what you almost did. You think about something like Last Guardian. I'm sorry I keep bringing it up. I know, it's like, Kyle, get over The Last Guardian. It's not coming, bro. It is a hole in my heart. It hurts to hear the words The Last Guardian out loud. And every Sony press conference after The Last Guardian was shown has felt disappointing in a way that it's like, yeah, that was great, but where's The Last Guardian? And it's like, it's that. It's, hey, yes, having a crazy tease at the end of your press conference can be good for that year, but it will make every press conference afterward worse if it doesn't appear. So don't do that to people. And that is the episode for this week. Next week is E3. We made it. We made it. E3 is if you want to watch it all, it begins Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, and that'll be on Spike and GameTrailers.com and E3 All Access Live. Gonna be a blast. Streaming on TV. Oh, it's so fun. And then Wednesday, there will not be a new Final Bosman because I'll be roaming the show floors at that point. Next episode of Final Bosman will be Saturday, and that'll be the E3 special. And the week after that, back to Wednesdays. I'll do E3 takeaways, be back on schedule. But for now, it is happening. E3 is here. It is next week. I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, for the bonus bit this week, I actually kind of wanted to stop doing all that silly stuff and kind of just focus on some actual real advice that I want to give to presenters at E3. First rule, very simple to remember, ABB, always be boasting. If you have something to say, boast it. If you're announcing your sales figures, boast it. For example, and we have had record sales for the year of 2014. But even if you have bad news, say you have to delay a game, boast it. And that game will be in stores in 2016. It's as simple as that. Rule number 2, announce your emotions. Don't inflect your statement with the emotion you're having, because remember rule number 1, you're always boasting. There's not a lot of give in your intonations there. So because of that, you must announce your emotions. If you're excited about something, literally say, I am excited to announce. If you're proud to announce something, say, and now we're proud to announce an exclusive partnership with Fritos Corn Chips. And lastly, rule number 3, this is really the most important one, demand applause. If you have finished a paragraph and people are not mashing their open hands together at the conclusion of your final sentence, you have failed. You are doing a bad job. So sometimes you'll have to work for it. Sometimes you'll have to stand there awkwardly until people start applauding. Sometimes you'll have to look at everyone and say, yeah. But at all costs, do not let a second go by when either you are not talking or people are not clapping, because if that happens, it will be weird. It will be a weird moment, and we cannot afford that. Those are my rules. Weird, 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 weird.